pleased to be joined by Andy Spence. Usually we have Juan on this chair, but I know we won't have him tomorrow. Just in your mind, we'll start it off with some reflections on what the last kind of 2 games have been like for Gotham and ahead of Angel City.
Yeah, obviously we've been on the road and we've had a busy schedule, but I think, looking at the Orlando game that we had, we were, really pleased with many aspects of that game, particularly in the first half. We felt we really dominated the game and we showed, some of our real high quality work in terms of our possession to create some great moments. And I think for us, it's about building on that. It's always positive in some respects when the players come off slightly disappointed after the 2-0 victory. And the fact that they come back and reflected on that game and said they wanted more is a really positive thing for us. So I think from our behalf, we then obviously had to travel to El Salvador, and that fixture again was a different challenge, obviously with a different set of players generally coming into that fixture just to manage our minutes. And again, we were pleased with moments of that game, but again with all the travel and all the challenges that 3 game weeks presents overall, 2 clean sheets, 6 points in 2 different competitions. So yeah, really happy.
What's been the focus in terms of rest and recovery? Another week with 3 games in 8 days. What do you guys as a coaching staff kind of emphasize on weeks like this?
It's about doing everything right, both on and off the pitch. You get less time on the field to maybe prepare, but you understand that comes with the demands of being in multiple competitions. So the biggest thing for us is how do we recover well? How do we manage the minutes across the full roster? And that's really important to us, is we've been able to give players that opportunity and give them those minutes. So I think for us now, it'll just be a case of making sure we're best prepared for Angel City, which we've had 2 really good sessions on the pitch last couple of days, and then taking the confidence, as I say, from lots of aspects of the last 2 performances in particular.
All right, well, open it up for questions. We'll get started first with Peyton, and for the rest of the group, if you have any questions, please use the hand raise function in the chat function so we know to call on you. But Peyton, if you'd like to unmute yourself.
Thanks, Megan. Just to get things started, Andy, thank you for your time today. I was wondering if you have any availability updates or news for us heading into the match tomorrow.
Yeah, I think where we're at is obviously Ella's still not available, and Tierna are obviously longer term type injuries. But apart from that, we've got a roster that's becoming a lot more healthier than maybe we've had at the start of the season. So yeah, we're in a good place.
All right, thank you, Peyton. Any other questions for Andy from the group here? Peyton, feel free to unmute yourself again.
Yeah, sorry, I can go again if no one else has anything right now. Andy, I'm wondering what you've seen kind of like from Angel City as the team has changed. But if there's anything specifically that you think that you bring from your experience elsewhere to kind of this, how your perspective shapes kind of like this opportunity to work with this team against kind of a different Angel City that they haven't seen earlier in the season with a lot of player turnover that they're experiencing.
Yeah, I think what we've seen with obviously a lot of the teams in the league as the season goes on, rosters change, and obviously they've had the change of coach as well. And since Alexander's come in, there's definitely been a shift in some of their patterns, both with the ball and against the ball. So and they've had a couple of obviously really positive results themselves in the last 2 games. So we're ready for a team who will be obviously highly motivated to do well, given how tight the league table is now at this stage. But we always take confidence in what we do, and we stick true to our principles and our processes to make sure we maximise our performance. So there's certainly an acknowledgement, Angel City have had some changes, of course, but they're a team who also in many respects has shown that they're growing as well under the new coach. So again, it's about us being prepared and as diligent as we can be to produce the best Gotham performance, and that's where a lot of our focus always lands.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, we have a question from David, if you'd like to unmute yourself.
Yes, Andy, thank you for taking the time to speak with me. So you're facing a direct competitor for the final spot for the final playoff spot. How important is this game in terms of securing that spot? And what's the team's mindset going into this match?
Yeah, I think the mindset has got to be the same. You know, you can't look too far ahead in any league, but particularly this league, as you know, with how close things are between reaching playoffs and being outside of that spot. We're currently holding that, so that's something we want to keep looking upwards in the table. And yeah, it's obviously a competitor who sits a place behind us, but very much our focus is what it always is take each game as it comes in terms of the different challenges each team presents, and knowing that 3 points is always what we go out onto every game looking to achieve, but knowing that equally, you know, picking points up along the way is critical. And it's something we're challenging ourselves internally around, you know, really putting together full 90-minute performances where we can really show that dominance, and that's something we've spoken a lot about. And you know, we've certainly got the talent in the roster to do that, and that's just the challenge now for the remaining games of the season.